Hi, Sean, are you all right?
Hi, Jack. I'm good. How's Dolly?
Oh, yeah, Dolly's really well, thanks. Yeah, she's sitting right here with me. She's on the little armchair next to me.
Oh,
Oh,
And
that's nice. Mildred's next to me as well.
yeah. So when we next see each other, be at Goodworth, won't it? Is that right? Am I
yeah.
thinking?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you bringing Mildred, or are you going to try and do it without Mildred?
Oh, I don't know actually. I don't know. I mean, I think. Oh, what would we do with Mildred when we're on stage?
Well, that's a very good question. Obviously, if you were on your own, someone would either have to look after her for you, or she could be on the stage with us. But it's just a question of whether you want that to turn into a sort of Blue Peter
Yes, exactly.
thing.
Yes,
You know, of course,
precisely.
Juniper's going to be there. Juniper's going to be there, isn't she?
She
Because it's
Oh, yeah.
special Daxon. It's a special Daxon event this year.
Yeah. I have similar
and I'm-
thoughts about,
yes.
gosh, when because we're going to be running around the festival a little bit. But
Yeah.
apparently there will be people there to help. So if you did want to bring Mildred, I think it would be fine.
Yeah, but
Okay.
otherwise,
All right. Maybe
don't-
I'll genuinely consider that.
Yeah, don't feel you've got to if it's a trial. Jane is going to drop in, and I think she's going to bring Dolly with her.
Oh,
so,
brilliant.
Yeah, so that'd be nice.
Oh, that's fantastic. Or maybe
Yeah,
I'll see
yeah.
if Grace, or then it's a whole family. I don't know. We'll see.
You've
We'll
got
see.
quite a lot of people to think about there, haven't you? Yeah.
I know. Yes.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
listen,
family
I
might be
just-
coming.
I
Oh,
really?
that'd be lovely. Great. Okay.
Oh, fantastic.
Maybe, I'm not sure yet.
We
So-
could get one of those kind of like massive, those massive family photos, like one of those photos at the end of a wedding,
Yeah.
where everyone's on the steps.
Yeah.
all the generations of Oh My Dog. I've just had an absolute look. It's basically breaking news. This just in. I've had an absolute the scare of my life, which Sarah knows about because I called her to say I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to come to Oh My Dog. I mean,
What's happened?
I panicked. I did panic.
Okay, what's happened?
If you can imagine that, Jack.
Yeah. I can imagine you flapping, but not actually it becoming a panic.
You sounded calm, which was quite strange. You were like, I don't know if I can make the show, but you weren't scared in your voice.
Oh.
So I thought,
no, internally I was absolutely mortified. I'll tell you what happened. So,
Yeah.
obviously we've moved, and it's really fantastic. Mildred, I think Mildred's having a great time. There's a couple more little parks that I can take her to for the kind of mini walks, and she loves them, and she seems to enjoy the sniffing around a lot more. The parks themselves seem to be a little safer. I don't think there's going to be like a man with a pipe in a bush, which you can get in Shepherd's Bush. Just people with smoking paraphernalia in bushes. But anyway,
And they're
listen.
not shepherds.
They are definitely not shepherds. I can confirm that. So, in one of these little parks, it's a kind of shed, this lovely shed. There's often a man, and he's sat there outside the shed with a cup of tea, and the kind of caretaker of the park looks after the gardens, right? But the thing is,
like an old-fashioned parky, like a
yeah. It's
like
really
from
nice.
Beano. Yeah.
Yeah. It's really sweet, really nice, really civilized.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is with this shed, it's raised on a kind of wooden platform, like a deck.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So Mildred, oh my God, Mildred manages to get under the deck. And I kind of just for a minute, I just go, we'll see how this goes. And she comes back out. Fine. Great. All right, good. That means I can let her under that and I don't have to worry. So she goes under again.
Yeah.
And this time, about 2 minutes in, I hear a couple of barks from underneath. And then I'm going, Mildred, are you okay? And also I notice that on the deck is someone has stapled a picture of a fox on the deck. So I'm going, oh God, is there a fox underneath there? Are there foxes? Is there a fox family? Oh God, what have I done? And but then I can't hear her. She's not making a noise. It's about 10 minutes. I'm shining the torch underneath. I can't see her. I can't see anything. It's quite big, this deck. And I just go into panic mode. What have I done? what's happened underneath there is I'm thinking, have I lost Mildred? I don't know what to do. And I call Grace because I think I need someone here so I can try and get under the deck, because I didn't really want to do that on my own. I thought
she could come and help, in other words.
Yes, in other words. Yeah.
She's got nothing else to do, has she, really?
No, what, with the two kids? Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, go on. I bet she's loved getting that call from you.
Oh, furious. Absolutely furious. Why do you let Mildred do these things?
Yeah.
You know, so I'm sorry, I won't do it again. I'm sorry. And then I hear some, 15 minutes in, I hear some noise, some rustling, and then we hear Grace go like, Mildred! And then bang! All of the noise, out she comes. She was absolutely fine.
She's
winding
fine.
Me up.
So she's evidently sees it like a big double bed in the middle of the park that she can get under and hide in.
Yeah. I don't know what was going. Absolutely, I don't know what was going on underneath there. I mean, I do know she likes it under the beds at home, as I've told you. But I mean, I panicked. And what I thought is, I'll put this question to you. I don't think you've ever had anything like that, Sarah, because you would have told us with Juniper. But I'll put it to you, Jack. Have you ever had anything like that with, dogs gone wild? But also our listeners, I would love to know from our listeners if you've ever had a dog stuck or lost and you've panicked. And Grace was saying you're going to have to call the fire brigade. She said you have to call 999. I said, you can't call 999.
Just to get your dog. Well, of course you can. If you can call them to get a cat out of a tree, you can call them to get a dog from under a shed. I mean, that's fair. Can't you? That's fair enough. It's sort of similar jeopardy, I'd say. Level off. Yes. Yeah. Okay. To answer your question, I did once, and I was a really small kid. I could hear our dog had run across a field where I lived then, and there was a spinny little touch of trees across the other side of the field, and I could hear this. I could hear our dog. She was called Flicker, and she's barking and barking. I thought, why she'd normally come if she was being called.
Yeah, this is the panic.
I went to investigate, and I found that she was stuck in a snare.
Oh no!
A little wire snare around her paw. Yeah,
oh my gosh.
They're nasty things, those, because they tighten up and then they won't loosen. They were set by the farmer to catch rabbits or whatever it was, but she was caught in it. I always remember that. I was only about 9.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
That must have been terrifying for you.
Well, I mean, it was a bit of an adventure, but I mean, it was very sad for her because she was really upset. Of course, she was caught in this thing, and it made me realise how cruel that kind of trapping is. But I'm more interested in this person who thought in order to warn people that there are foxes under the shed, rather than putting a sign out saying there are foxes under the shed, what I'll do is go and get a picture of a fox and just staple it randomly on the shed.
Exactly what they've done. Yes.
I mean, what kind of lunatic would think that was a good way to let people know?
Yeah. And also put that doubt in. I mean, it might mean that. It might not mean that. It might just be a picture of a fox. I don't know. But I was really panicking.
This is the stuff that just fascinates me. What is the thinking that went into that? When he went home and, he was cutting out a picture of a fox, and someone said, "What are you doing?" I'm making a picture of a fox to go on the shed in the park. Someone did that.
I know. Well, next time, do you know what? Next time I see him, because he's in there, he's often in there, I'll ask him. I'll find out what the picture of the fox is about.
Find out what the deal is, yeah.
Where do foxes... Sorry, this is probably a very stupid question. Where do they live?
I think that they'll kind of live anywhere. I know they hang out anywhere because we've got a fox in our garden, or have had in the last summer. I haven't seen him so much this year, but he used to just like sunbathing on top of our shed. We've got a flat roof shed at the end of the garden.
Yes.
And
they
he'd
do
be
like
there.
the
Very
shed.
often see him, and they are like cats. They can walk along the edge of a fence and stuff, like that fence behind you, Sarah. They'll just walk along the end of the edge of that, like a cat would. Yeah, they're amazing. they are amazing things, and quite manky, the town foxes, but they're also quite sort of, complacent as well, because they get so much food from all the bins.
Right, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Always fun. Always fun. I never tire of spotting a fox.
No.
Sorry.
I know.
Sounded very Partridge.
You did, but it is true. It is a good observation. You do, because you never say, "Oh, look, there's a fox." You might see them every night when you pull up, but then you still say, "Oh, look, there's a fox." Yeah.
When you actually called me and said Mildred was stuck under a shed and told me that she'd come out once, I actually didn't think you had anything to worry about. And I said, well, we have got an interview at 10:30. Will you make that? Because it was 9:00. And I was thinking, is this going to take an hour and a half to get her out?
Yeah.
And then, but actually you did need grace. So you couldn't have done it on your own.
Well, I was thinking the absolute worst, because I couldn't hear any noise. I really was trying to hold it together. I was total state of panic.
Upsetting.
Aww.
Yeah.
No.
So are you going to stop Mildred going under there next time, or what will you do?
Yeah.
No, she's not. She's not under. Yeah, she's not allowed. It's just not worth it, because I don't know. I couldn't, even with the torch, I just couldn't see what was underneath there. So if she gets stuck, that's that's calling the fire brigade. Then the fire brigade will have to saw down the man's shed. They'll be looking at me. I'm so sorry about this. New to the area. Hi, I'm Sean.
I'm looking forward to those headlines.
But yes, we got to Juniper good. Sorry, before we look at emails, Juniper.
Yeah, she's great. Yeah, apart from this morning, we're out on a walk and she'd stopped and she was sniffing and she was chewing on something, which I don't like to see, because I think, what's she eating now? But she was really chewing it. So I stopped her and I was like, what's going on? And it came out of her mouth and it was a bit of what looked like glass.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a chunk of, it was plastic, fortunately, but sharp edges. I don't know what she was playing at. So it's not just poo I've got to look out for now, it's chunks of glass.
Chunks of glass as well. Well, it's Bedford, isn't it?
Yeah, there's obviously been a fight.
Exactly, it's one or the other. It is worth letting people know that we're going to be at Goodworth on Saturday, the 17th of May. In case you don't know, that's a massive dog festival that's held at Goodwood in West Sussex. We're going to be there. Lots and lots and lots of people are going to be there. And we'll be going around looking at all the different things you can do. There's dog yoga. There's all kinds of stuff. Sean has a challenge that he's accepted. And we'll be seeing how that works out. There'll be various former guests from Oh My Dog will be there. I think Dr. Scott from this morning, and James Middleton, who was a guest a few weeks back. And also we are doing a live version of Oh My Dog. We're recording a podcast from there. And we have a very, very special guest. And today we're able to announce that it will be Bill Bailey, none other than, which is very exciting, isn't it? It's wonderful that he's agreed to do that with us. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. Are you looking forward to it, Sean?
Absolutely chuffed that Bill's going to be joining us for that. Huge animal lover, known for that.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's like his place is like a zoo.
Yeah.
With all of lots of different types of animals. So it's going to be very exciting talking to him. And also, I have accepted the challenge, but I don't know what the challenge is that I've accepted. So we'll see.
It's best not to know, I think, probably.
Yeah, I think it is best to not know, actually.
Yeah,
I'm totally with you. So come and join us. 17th of May, Goodworth. That's down in, where is it? It's down in West Sussex.
West Sussex,
Chichester.
Near Chichester.
Yes, do please come and join us. It'd be lovely to see you. Now, we've got some emails from you. This is from Kath Boyle in New York. Oh, that's cool.
Yes. Yeah.
I love that we've got listeners around the globe.
It's
That's
good,
fantastic.
isn't it? Very good. Yeah.
Kath says, please have Amanda on the pod again. That was Amanda from the last episode. who talked to us about police dogs. Kath says she was just fantastic, funny, informative, articulate, and very, very moving. I thought it was just me getting teary. I was glad to hear Sarah and Sean were holding back the tears too. For the record, I think Jack and Jane would be brilliant with a retired police dog. So do we. Not just a sniffer dog. They've got tons of experience and really great instincts when it comes to dogs. They'd be lovely. Thanks for a brilliant pod. Lots of love, Kath Boyle. Thank you, Kath. Yes, Amanda was fantastic, and we will absolutely have her back on at some point. And Jack, what do you say? You getting a retired police dog?
Look,
has that pushed you over?
It's a funny thing, isn't it? Because talking about we don't want to get another dog while we've got Dolly, and and it feels weird discussing that with Dolly in the room because that would be a thing that happens. She might be like with one eye open, listening to me, saying, "What are you talking about? Hey, you're not having any coppers? not having any, you don't want to get the old bill in, otherwise." So she's not terribly in favour of it, but who knows one day. But thank you, Kath. Yeah, it's good, lovely email to get. And Sarah, you've got something for us to hear, I think, from Phoebe Gander.
Yeah, Phoebe got in touch, and actually she was very inspired by Sean getting Mildred made as a human on ChatGPT. So she's done it for Juniper and for Dolly. So I'm going to show you Juniper as a human.
Oh,
very actually not unlike you, Sarah. Really,
no,
I think
that's true.
Not unlike you.
I thought that was quite good.
I agree with that.
It's like like a teenager.
Also looks very well. Kind of looks well behaved.
Yes, she does, and quite fun and sweet. So that's Juniper, and I'm going to show you now. I'm going to show you Dolly.
Oh.
I can't wait.
Oh no, that's shocking. I can't. No, I mean, look, it's for those listening and not able to see. It's an elderly lady with bouffant hairdo and wearing pearls, and
so funny.
Very elegant looking though.
Yeah,
very
but
elegant.
it's not how I see. It's not quite how I see Dolly. I kind of see her.
How do you see her?
I don't know. It's difficult to. But I don't think of her as a human, obviously, really. I don't ever see that. No. Anyway, well...
I'm just going to tell you what Phoebe said. She said, I have the image of Jack carrying that old lady around and cuddling her in bed.
and now we all do. So, thank you, Phoebe.
Yes, you're all going to think about that for the... Anyway, well, thank you, Phoebe, and thank you, ChatGPT for that insight.
Thank you, Phoebe. If you're listening, you're obviously good with technology. You've used ChatGPT there. Would love to see the image of Jack and that version of Dolly having a nice little snuggle in bed, watching the telly.
Oh, that's. I don't want that circulating on the internet. That's going to just, it's going to be like that fake porn thing, isn't it? It's just horrible.
Jack's getting deep faked. With Dolly, I can't.
Oh, dearie me. You don't know what you started, Phoebe Gander.
Oh dear. We have one more here, do we?
We do. We have another email here. Hi, Jack, Sean, and Sarah. My name is Caroline, and I live in Shoreham-by-Sea, West Sussex, and this is my 9-year-old cockapoo called Ted, aka Tedster, Teddy, Fluffbutt, Pickle, Poppet, and many more. He's the light of my life, along with my family, of course. Lovely picture of Ted there being held up. I just wanted to say I'm loving the podcast and have had many a laugh out loud moment with my headphones on while walking Ted. God knows what other people must think of me on my walks. It brightens up my Mondays no end. Keep up the good work. And yes, I do let my dog kiss me on the lips. Lots of love, Caroline and Ted. Well, thank you for that. I'm glad you're enjoying the podcast. It's nice to hear from you and to see a picture of Ted like that.
Yeah.
Yes, very, very cute dog. And that's really lovely to let us know that you let your dog kiss you on the lips. To all listeners, when you get in touch, let us know at the end of the message. It's nice to keep that up.
On the subject of, just briefly, on the subject of how we do nicknames, I know someone who has a nickname for their dog. Now, I'm going to be careful here because I don't want to identify anyone in this story. So let's, for argument's say, the nickname is Tiddles, all right, for the dog. Yeah. And she then found out that her friend has also got a dog, started using that nickname for her dog as well.
Oh.
And it's got on her nerves in quite a big way. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I get that.
I love this stuff.
Yeah.
It's like stealing somebody's baby name.
But yeah, it is, isn't it? You know, if someone had said to you, Sean, you know, we were always going to call our baby Casper. That's why we've done it. Yeah. You'd be a friend of yours, you know, come round, met Casper, and then 2 weeks later you find out they've decided to call their baby Casper. You'd think, oh, I mean, that's just stalkerish and weird.
Yeah.
Isn't it? But also you think up your own nickname for your
dog.
Come on,
yeah. No one's thinking mine.
No. Oh, I wonder if that's happened
Juniper,
before.
No, you can't. You absolutely. That is against the rules.
But now she gets called Boona, so no one's going to do that. If they said that, then I definitely know that was so unoriginal.
Yes.
It's mine, and you're not having it.
It's true. It's true that it's funny it should matter so much, but it does, doesn't it?
Yeah. Because it's personal, it's intimate, isn't it?
Would you say Wilder is quite an original name, Wilder?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it is, yeah. I don't think I've apart from Gene Wilder, I've never heard of anyone being called that.
Yeah.
Well, a few weeks later, Joel Dommett had a kid, and they called theirs Wild, so...
Oh, right, okay.
If you
No.
I like not naming any names, obviously. Well done.
So maybe if they're having another kid, they can call that Casp.
People try to get around it by changing a letter, don't they? Not a Y, it's an I. It's that kind of thing.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
that doesn't work.
Called it Wild. Oh dear, yeah. You should ring him up and go, take it off. Just call
the baby Wheeled the whole time. I'm calling it Wheeled.
Wheeled.
Oh dear. Well, I think it's time for our wonderful guest.
Charlotte Hawkins is a television and radio presenter, newsreader, journalist and podcaster. She's one of the anchors on ITV's breakfast show Good Morning Britain, which means she has the early alarm call of 2:45 a.m. Before that, she co-presented Sky's breakfast programmes Sunrise with former Oh My Dog guest Eamon Holmes. Her classical music album Mindful Moments was #1 in the classical compilation albums chart for 10 weeks. She presents on ITV Racing and has appeared on many TV shows like Britain's Got More Talent, The Chase and Strictly. But we don't want to hear about all of Charlotte's amazing achievements. We want to get to know her through her love of dogs. Charlotte, just quickly, were you working this morning?
No, luckily not. No, okay. So I did have a bit of a lie-in.
I'm intrigued to know how you make that work for yourself. If you've got to get up at 2:45 in the morning half the time and then not for the rest of the time.
Yeah, I still wake up early, but I've usually got the capacity to go back to sleep, which is helpful because no one wants to be getting up at 2:45 on their day off, do they really?
No, they don't. You obviously got the knack of getting back to sleep, which is really good. At the moment, we know that you're without a dog, aren't you, since Bailey left you?
Yeah, it's really weird, actually. So we lost Bailey, who was a much-loved member of the family, and it was one of those things that just hit me harder than I thought it was going to, because, you all know as a dog owner, don't you, that their time is going to come at some point, and she was 16 and a half. It still hit me really hard when it happened, like a physical pain, I have to say. And even now, I kind of feel like I still hear the little tip-tap of her paws on the floor, Or I kind of think, oh, I've got to let the dog out, or I've got to go and walk the dog, and I think, oh, no,
God,
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was kind of.
And did you have her from puppy?
Yeah, we did. We got her at 4 months old. She was a rescue dog. She was just one of those dogs that I think was super special. I guess, everyone thinks that about their dog, don't they? But she had converted a lot of children who were a bit cautious or scared of dogs just because she was so sweet. And, little ones would come and they'd be like balancing toy cars on her back or whatever. She would put up with it, not bother at all. Or if it got too much, she'd just kind of take herself off. But she was like, a super important member of the family.
Oh.
Do you think that you've acquired maybe some good advice that you could, or coping mechanisms that you could perhaps pass on when losing a dog? We all know how difficult it is.
Yeah, I think what I should have done actually was to get another dog before she got to a certain age, and I know that that's what a lot of people do. So I thought about it, but then I realised actually we'd already left it a bit too late because she'd got a bit older, and I don't think she would have appreciated having a young puppy around. So I think, I know people find it a bit easier if they've got two dogs and, you leave sort of, I don't know, a few years in between them. So at least you don't have that kind of shock that you've got no dog at all. Because the difficulty is now for me, I thought, I'll leave it a little while because I don't want it to feel like I'm completely replacing her. So we will get another dog at some stage. But I still haven't. And, this happened quite a while ago now, but I just can't bring myself, in a sense, to get another dog yet. And I have been talking to the trust about it, and they sort of say, what kind of dog do you want? And in my heart, I just want her back or another dog like her, but I know I can't get that. So then I think, well, do I go a completely different dog and mix it up, or do I try and get one similar and see, I don't know if it's training or if it's personality, how much of that shapes the dog that you end up with. But I think it is hard for people when your dog is getting to a certain age or has health problems. But I just think, just have as much lovely memories with them as you can. And even though I knew it was going to come, it still didn't prepare me. So I think it is really hard to prepare for that moment.
Well, I'm sure there's some wisdom in doing that and just biding your time a bit and not jumping in and figuring out what you need to do next. And I'm sure that that's probably just as good a way as doing it as getting one straight away. Whatever, it needs thinking about, which is worth remembering. In the notes here I've got about your interesting career, Charlotte, and your life. It says here that you worked at a rescue centre when you were a teenager. Is that right?
I did, yeah.
Wow.
I was a volunteer. It was a cat and rabbit rescue centre.
Oh, sweet.
It wasn't a dog rescue centre, but it did keep me on my toes because I was forever having to try and catch any escaped rabbits or de-fleeing time. They probably don't do it now, but at the time, we had to spray them with de-flea. So there would come a time where you had to de-flea every single cat. And obviously any cat owner will know that, cats aren't particularly thrilled with that process. So that was an interesting one. The whole, get them by the right place in their neck to make sure that they're not going to be able to scratch your eyeballs out at the same time. But I've always loved animals. And that was just kind of a part of it. And I think if you haven't got a pet, then it's sort of the next best thing. Either there are sort of loads of places, either rescue centres or places like Greyhound rescue centres who are always looking for people to go and walk their dogs or just hang out with the dogs, foster a dog, anything like that. There are loads of ways now, which is great actually. So rather than having the responsibility of pet ownership, if people just want to dip in and dip out, at least there are more options now.
And did you have a dog as a child? Did you grow up with dogs around you?
Yeah, I had a dog called Kizzy. She looked a little bit like, she was a collie cross, so she looked a little bit like a lassie type dog, and I just thought she was the best thing ever. We went to choose her and there was a big litter of loads of small black dogs, and then there was one great big brown hairy one, so we got the great big brown hairy one. She was just brilliant. I did also want a horse at the time, so the only thing that she had to cope with was the fact that I sort of put her through her paces and pretended she was a horse and tried to get her to, jump over jumps and things in the back garden and do a bit of a jig. But no, she was such a big softie, and I think that's kind of where it all started, really.
Yeah.
That I think dogs are so special, and you two having them in your lives is just such a gift, isn't it? It just brings you so much joy in that moment when whatever day you've had, you get back home, or even if you've just popped to the shops and they just run to the door going, "You're back, you're back. Oh, I missed you so much. It's amazing to see you." And I just think that is just so lovely.
It's clearly had a big influence on you because you're actually really involved with dogs now on a kind of patron type level, aren't you? Tell us about the National Dog Survey run by Dogs Trust that you're involved in. What's going on there?
Yeah, so I'm an ambassador for Dogs Trust. I've done lots of work supporting them over the years, hosting their carol concert and things like that, which is amazing because the dogs will turn up as well and sing along. It's a very special event. And they do this dog survey, National Dog Survey, which they're urging pet owners to take part in. So it's from the 13th of May to the 23rd of June. And all people have to do is just go to their website, just answer a few questions about dogs, dog ownership, what it's like, any issues they have with their dog. And actually, it's a really important way to look at sort of what's going on with the dog population at the moment. And it sort of varies from things like telling them how many people have behaviour issues with their dogs, which is a lot. It's like 3/4 of people have some sort of behaviour issue with their dog that they want to sort out. And also things like what the most popular names are, which apparently is Poppy and Teddy from the last survey that they did. There you go.
Oh, that's good intel. Yeah, thank you.
There you are. If you're looking for a dog for your name for your dog, then the only thing is, I suppose, if you go to the park and start yelling out Poppy and Teddy, then there'll be loads of other dogs.
25 dogs come to you,
yeah. But it's great because it means, as a result of that, they have this dog behaviour support line as well. So if you've got an issue with your dog, with bad behaviour, or you want to chat to somebody, then they've got that available, because a lot of people were having to give up their dogs because they just couldn't control some of their behaviours. And, we all want to get the best out of our dogs, but quite often there'll be a few little niggling behaviour issues, won't there, that you wish you could sort out. And they're there to help sort them out at the same time, which is great. And we've got this podcast, Leaps and Hounds, where we're doing dog training advice as well for people.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, so people can listen to that, and you've got various dog experts and stuff speaking on that of you, is that right?
Yeah, so the idea is I go to the Dogs Trust in West London, and we've got one of their behaviourists, Chris Glover, and she is an amazing expert in all things dog. She can even speak dog, which is to behold. So she translates dogs' barks. So when your dog is barking at you, she'll be able to tell you what your dog is saying.
Yeah.
So
I've got that feeling that's quite an easy claim to make, isn't it? No, I can speak dog. Yeah, you want some Malteser?
I suppose none of us know whether she can actually speak dog, but she tells us she can speak dog. And what she says does make a lot of sense. But, if she can tell whether it's a warning bark or whether it's an excited bark.
For sure.
Or whether it's an attention-seeking bark. She seems to know her stuff. That's all I'm saying.
That's brilliant. It does sound good, and I've heard good things on it. Leaps and Hounds is the name of, and I've heard that is actually currently the second best dog-based podcast around. So well done, you.
Sorry to come on your dog podcast. It's not really the done thing, is it?
It's great. It sounds very interesting and very informative. And
but it sounds like both podcasts have experts on it.
I snorted at that, but occasionally we do have experts on it. So the other thing that I know that you're big into is, of course, your classical music, Charlotte.
Yeah.
So what? Tell us a bit about what you've done there. Pets Classics on Classic FM.
I know it makes it sound like every single thing I do is connected to dogs, doesn't it? But I do. It is my favourite show that I do on Classic FM, Pet Classics, because so many dogs are worried by the fireworks when it comes to fireworks night. So we play amazing, calming pieces of music to make sure that pets are as chilled out as possible on fireworks night. And it does actually work. I absolutely love it. We get so many people sending messages, photos, videos of their dogs and their cats just calm and asleep. And one woman sent me a picture of her greyhound, which the year before had been a complete quivering wreck, was absolutely terrified. But she had Classic FM on, playing pet classics, and that had helped calm the dog down. And people take it out into the stables for the horses and cows.
Really nice.
That's fantastic.
Menagerie of animals. It's really, really lovely.
And any particular pieces that you can recommend?
Well, there is the Swan, Carnival of the Animals, which is a very calming one. Actually, that's one of my particular favourites because it just makes you envisage this swan slowly gliding down a rhythm. It's a really rather beautiful piece of music. But it has actually been scientifically proven. They have done research into, like, a lot of people leave the radio on for their dog, don't they, when they go out, just to make sure they've got sort of something in the background so it's not too quiet for them. And they did research with like audiobooks and with classical music, and classical music had a more beneficial effect in calming dogs down. So I'm just saying, if you're choosing something to leave on for your dog, classical music is definitely up there.
That's good to know, because both myself and Jack already do that, don't we, for our dogs? I do that for Mildred.
We do. Dolly likes her classical music, and we quite often find in the morning with classical, we listen to Radio 3 because that's what Dolly wants to listen to, apparently. But I mean, it is noticeable though. Sometimes they play beautiful stuff on Radio 3, and then sometimes they just go completely sort of tone deaf and read the room really badly. And it's, 8 o'clock in the morning, they're playing one of those horrible discordant kind of modern pieces. But even Dolly kind of looks up and going, "What the hell's this then?" It doesn't work quite so well. Look, if it works for us, it calms us down. Nice music. Why wouldn't it with dogs? They're just as clever.
Exactly.
And horses.
Now, in August, back in 2023, you presented an ITV News special, Dangerous Dogs, which featured some harrowing stories. Do you think things have improved since then? It's been a while.
I mean, I hope so, because it had got to the stage where there was just so much fear, wasn't there, around dogs, dangerous dogs, and certain dogs getting a bad name. Obviously, we've had the XL bully ban since then. Change things, but it was really upsetting to hear all the stories of the people that had been attacked by dogs. Going up to the hospital in Liverpool and hearing the stories of, on a daily basis, people were going in with life-changing dog bites, and when they're children as well. And one of the surgeons said to me, the difficulty is for children is that, actually a lot of the times it can be smaller dogs that attack them, and they're right on face level, and it's often to do with, a child will have a bit of food in its hand or something, and it was just so traumatizing because, we love our dogs, and it's just awful that they're in those situations. Because I have to say, I'm kind of a believer at the same time that it is responsibility of the owner to make sure that they are training their dog in the right way, especially these bigger dogs. They have to have them under control, because it's just not fair on the dog otherwise. And just never, ever leave a dog alone with a child. And I think, people will think, oh, but my dog's fine, it's okay. But as I say, for the surgeon that I spoke to, and he was talking about even some of the smaller dogs, if they just, have a bad day or something happens, the child does something that it just doesn't know is going to upset the dog, or there's food involved, in just a moment, it can really change people's lives. So we wanted to do it to make sure we did it in a way that was responsible, that showed sort of, all aspects to the issue, because it had got to just fever pitch point, I think. And people want to go out and about and enjoy their dogs and not worry about either themselves being attacked, or a lot of people were worried that their dog is going to be attacked by another dog as well.
Did you find, I know it's a couple of years ago now, if you could set your mind back, did you find that there was perhaps a pattern in the dangerous dogs that made their behaviour bad?
I think what it is it for me, it had come down to, if you look at why those people had the dogs, And for some of those dogs, they were status dogs. So they wanted the big, really big, athletically built ones that were bred to be more aggressive. And I think those are the ones that are the issue, because, you know, those need really careful handling. And if you are specifically breeding dogs for aggression, and I think that is a big problem, hopefully, you know, with the changes that have been made. And I still don't understand why we don't have a system of dog registration so everybody knows whose dog is who. You know, I just think it would make things much easier if there would be more accountability, I think, if there was a dog registration system and we knew who every dog belonged to.
I mean, it used to be the case you had to have a dog license, didn't there?
Yeah,
that's
did.
right. I don't know when that went out. I'm not familiar. Maybe it was thought to be ineffective and difficult to enforce. I don't know what the deal was with that. But all of these things are so difficult to legislate around, aren't they? Because someone could claim, well, he's not a pure XL bully, so therefore the law doesn't apply, and then you have this situation of taking dogs away from their owners, and it's so difficult. But I'm sure you're right, Charlotte. It does often nearly always it boils down to the humans and the owners and those people responsible for their dogs or not responsible. What kind of dog owner are you? Are you very soppy when you have a dog in the household? Is it? Are they allowed on the furniture? Where did Bailey used to sleep?
I was quite a strict dog parent, I have to say. So Bailey was not allowed on the sofa. We did sort of try a system where she was only allowed up there if we invited her up. But basically, that kind of worked until we went out, and then we knew
she invited herself up. Then
left on the sofa. Not only that, I think we probably wouldn't have noticed, but of course, what dogs don't realise is they leave a trace. So there would be dog hairs there. There would be, you know, bits of mud and whatever else. And also, she'd have a little scrabble around to get all nice and cozy. So we had to kind of then say, right, no, you know, she wasn't allowed on the sofa. She wasn't allowed upstairs either. I know she used to sleep downstairs, but she did occasionally used to do some sort of protest. I don't know why, but sort of just sometimes sleep like on the corner of the stairs just to say, I know you've told me that I'm not allowed upstairs. However, in my mind, step 2 doesn't count. Sometimes like just curl up there, a little act of defiance, and you'd kind of, you know, wake up in the morning and come down the stairs, and as soon as she heard you, she would leap off the stairs and pretend that nothing had happened and she hadn't slept all night curled up in the bottom of the stairs. So but no, I mean, you know, we absolutely loved her to bits. You know, she was so brilliant. But yeah, I think I was quite strict, and I think also I was conscious of the fact, because she was a rescue dog, so we wanted to sort of welcome her and make sure she was really comfortable and everything. But at the same time, everyone kept saying to me, set the boundaries as soon as you get the dog. You know, have a think before you get a dog as to whether you want it on the sofa, whether you want it upstairs, because it's so hard to retrospectively say to a dog, I know I've let you on the sofa for the last year, but now I've changed my mind and you're not going to be on the sofa anymore, because they don't understand that at all. They're really not good at changing circumstances. That it's either like, okay, you're allowed on the sofa, or okay, you're not. But it's quite hard to do some sort of halfway ground.
I can see that. You know, starters, you mean to carry on, because they won't get it, will they? I always was allowed on the sofa, so why can't I now? It's a little bit difficult to explain that one. Our final question, Charlotte, and I think I know the answer to this now, really, which we ask all our guests, is, are you someone who lets your dogs kiss you on the mouth?
No, I would not. I mean, I would give her a kiss on the top of her head. But I would not kiss her on the mouth. No, definitely not. Because the thing is, she was one of these dogs that she'd be like ferreting around for some carcass or something or other, or rolling in fox poo. I mean,
no, honestly, you don't have to justify this. It's completely understandable, and probably the right answer. I think we all know, but not everyone comes up with that. So, it's great to talk to you. Thank you so much, Charlotte, for sparing some time and letting us know all about your dog-filled life. Even though you at the moment don't have Bailey with you, which is really, really sad. And do come on and tell us when you do get another dog. That'd be lovely to hear about.
Thanks for being so open.
I will be getting another dog, I'm sure, in the not too distant future. So I will do that. Thank you so much. Great to talk to both of you.
And you as well. Thank you. Sarah's probably just going to drop in now and just say there she is.
That was so wonderful. Thank you, Charlotte.
Yes.
My pleasure.
I just thought I'd let you
kind of talk about dead dogs for too long or anything.
We talked about that.
It's really nice of you to do that and open up, and our listeners will really love that. So thank you so much.
Do you know, I just got an email the other day saying, can we talk about dog death, even though we have in the past? They still wanted us to talk about it again, because it is such a present issue for everybody. We're always either going through it or worrying about it, you know. So definitely thank you for talking about that.
No problem at all.
Very interesting talk, that, and it's always poignant talking to people who've lost their dogs. You know, it's quite a big part of owning a dog, sadly, is that at some point you're going to have to say goodbye to them, and it's a really, really hard thing. So it was very generous, I think, of Charlotte to sort of let us know a bit about that and the process and of what you go through. I remember as a kid when I lost Flicker, who I was talking about earlier, and when she died, and I remember for ages and ages I'd see her in the corner of my eye. Yeah, because you're so used to your dogs being in the house and just like they go, they just kind of wander across you, and you just sort of see something, and you think that, oh no, it's not her. No, of course it isn't. And likewise hearing them and stuff. So it does leave it does leave a heck of a gap, doesn't it?
Yeah, that choked me when she was talking about the pitter patter of the feet and thinking you can hear that.
No. It's
but it's nice. It's nice to it's nice for our listeners, I think, to hear some coping mechanisms and some advice with that you can consider, even if you don't take it. It's nice to be able to consider these things.
Yeah.
I found out for you about the dog licenses. So
yes.
That was abolished in 1987 in England, Wales and Scotland, but it's still happening in Northern Ireland. They still have dog licenses. And it was because of low compliance, poor enforcement, and was perceived as an unnecessary cost. So that's why.
They could apply that to pretty much every law.
Yeah, it's true.
It's just...
And also it being poorly enforced, that's your fault. You're just stopping something because you've not done a very good job. And it turns out we weren't very good at it, so we've just abolished it.
Same with shoplifting, really. You've just let it go. Car theft, which it's very hard. It's very hard to apply. So we don't do it anymore. Oh dear me! What is this country coming to?
Well, fantastic episode.
Yeah, very good.
If I may say so myself, what a fantastic episode! I've had a lot of fun.
Yes, good.
Of course,
I have as well. Thank you all to you for listening to Oh My Dog. We love getting all these insights from my guests, and we hope that you're enjoying taking a deep dive with us into our love of dogs.
Yes, and please go and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can now watch Oh My Dog at OMD Pod, and keep on getting in touch. We love hearing from you. Let us know if your animals have been stuck. If you've had trouble getting your animals, we'd like to hear about that. You can email us at hello@omdpods.com, and of course, give us a follow on Instagram. Lots of extra content there. You can send us your voice notes too.
Yeah, and don't forget to give us a 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts as well. And remember, a dog is for life, not just for podcasts.
I've just remembered I left my environmentally friendly coffee cup at the park.
So that's another purchase you're going to have to make. That's that'll be. Do you reckon? What are you going to go back and get it? Go back and get it. See. Sometimes when things get lost in the park, people will put them on the railings or something, won't they? If you lost a scarf or a glove, maybe it's the same with an environmentally friendly coffee cup.
You don't live in Shepherd's Bush.
No. The trouble is, you'll never know what they've done to it before they left it out for you to go and collect it. Oh, this coffee tastes funny.
Is that a fox hair? Oh.